My name is Mike Munzing. I'm with a lender by the name of CRESTLINE Funding. And I've been out here about 20 years. I make these videos each week, and hopefully you've been watching them. If this is the first one you've seen, that's fantastic. Love having you here. I put these up on YouTube so you as the realtor, or if you're a buyer, you can watch these, learn a little bit about the market, find out more about what's going on in the lending industry, what's going on in the real estate industry, what's going on in our crazy market here in Orange County and in California as a whole, so you can know how to address this market, how to attack when you need to, and get the right properties and get that going for you. So, love making these videos for you. If you like it, if you're on YouTube, give me some stars, make some comments each week. It's nice to know what you like and what you want to see, what you want to know about. That really does help me when I'm putting these together, because if I don't know, hey, I might not address the issues that are important to you. Each week it's interesting trying to come up with something to tell you about. This week it was nice. Last night, the foreclosure numbers came out. Now, I'm shooting this on Friday. Well, it's Friday the 13th of November, but it's November 13th. Foreclosure numbers came out last night for the month of October. And made these foreclosure videos each month to keep you up to speed. Things have settled down a bit now, but I want to jump into that in just a minute. First thing I want to do is to talk about my website real quick, which I always do. They're at www.mikemunzing.com. And on my website, each week, I update and put the week's rates there. So nice when you're holding an open house or you're meeting with a buyer. It's nice to know what's going on with the rates. So I consolidate that for you so you can print that, take it with you, and bring that to your open house. Now, if you are holding an open house, even better, I'm going to switch over to my FHA VA Property Financing Flyer that is extremely effective and very informative, giving any prospective buyers some detailed numbers of what the payments are going to be for your property. You go to my website. It's a spreadsheet that comes up. You fill in the blanks, specifically promoting you, promoting the property, putting all the details for the property, and it fills out the flyer for you. You just hit print, and there you go. Print up 15, 20, 25 copies. You're good to go. You don't need to contact me with it. You can do it at 2 in the morning if you're running late, ready to go for you. That's very effective. Okay, I want to jump into the information about the foreclosure report for October. Now, I get my information from my good friend Sean O'Toole with Foreclosure Radar. He is the leading expert on the foreclosures for California. Now, what I'm going to do is bring up the first page. Here you can see it on the screen, and then you can see each page, all 5 pages of the report. Now, what you should do is pause this video. Pause it, go to my website. It's a PDF, it's on my website. Print this report before you watch the video if you have a chance to, and let's go through this report together. First thing I want to do is bring up these charts for you. Now, the beginning stage of a foreclosure is the notice of default. Once your buyer has been a little bit late on their payments, the lender will file the notice of default. Now, as you can see, I've got a little chart here so I can show what I'm looking at here, is that we had a big dip here, and then as we're getting to the right of the screen there, which is the most recent, that has dipped about 7.47% and to a level of 35,323 properties had notices of default filed on them. But once again, first step is the notice of default. Next, we have the notice of trustee sale. That is the second stage. Once they've had the notice of default filed, then they wait anywhere from 90 to 180 days, quite some time these days, before they file the notice of trustee sale, which tells the homeowner when the property is going to be going on the blocks or going to be foreclosed on. Now, that has had a nice little jump here of a little over 13% to a level of 37,421 properties in California had the notice of trustee sale filed in the month of October. Next is the section of which properties actually went to foreclosure. That's the next step. A number of things can happen. And if they go to foreclosure, two things can happen. Either the property goes back to the bank. Let's say it's whatever bank, ABC Bank, has a loan. That bank forecloses on the borrower, and then nobody bids on it, nobody buys it on the auction, and it goes back to the bank, and that becomes an REO. And that would be $16,081. And that is a big jump back to the bank this month. We've had some decreases. As you can see, 3 months of decrease, boom, big jump of 22.24%. And you can see it right there. Very, very interesting. Next is the next step, or the alternative to that, which is the property sold to a third party. Usually now it's investors. And we can see that has been an absolute steady increase, month over month, steady increase for quite some time. And that was at a level of 3,971 properties in California. That's a jump of 16.42% over the previous month of properties that sold to investors. I want to stick with this for just a bit here. This is interesting because a couple of things are happening. Investors are finding it more advantageous to jump into this part of the market because there's still some buyers. They know, as you know, that the properties on the market are real low right now. We don't have a lot of properties on the multiple listing service. They haven't been hitting the market from the banks as much, and the REOs have not been coming back on the market quite the way we thought they would be. So there are still buyers, so lots of offers going in. So that's advantageous. They know that the interest rates are low, which is fantastic, and they know that that $8,000 home buyer credit has been extended, which all these things are working in the investor's favor to go buy those properties off the steps and get those properties turned around and resold, and they're often opportunities for your buyers as well. The next chart I wanted to bring up is the foreclosure cancellations. This is another step that has been happening out there, is that it either sells, goes back to the bank, sells to an investor, or they cancel it altogether. And what happens is that with the government pushing for all these loan modifications, they have to wait now and see, are these modifications going to stick, or are the folks going to redefault? If they redefault, that property is going back into foreclosure. They're going to foreclose on that property. But if they don't default, I believe it's 3 months, they're going to cancel that foreclosure. But I think a lot of the banks are waiting. So that was only up 0.94 to a level of 8,741 properties had their foreclosures canceled. As you can see, it's been kind of moving kind of laterally to your right there on that. A couple of interesting charts to finish this off with. Next is the properties that are scheduled for foreclosure, with the banks and the government trying to hold off on the foreclosures. The number of properties that are backlogging, that are their scheduled for foreclosures, as you can see, is absolutely skyrocketing. To way to the right there, just keep going up and up. Just under 150,000 properties in California. It's 149,456, an increase of 6.46 over last month, but a steady increase of properties backlogged up, ready to go to foreclosure, but they're trying to hold them off. And finally, the properties, it's been kind of trending downward a little bit as we look across the chart. These are the properties that are still bank owned. And well, hey, want to thank you once again for watching these videos. It is fun to put them together for you. I'm trying to make them more entertaining, trying to make them work out a little bit better, but I do enjoy making those for you. I want to remind you, as we're coming into the weekend, when you get new buyers, I am a direct lender. I do want to be way up at the top of your list. 20 years of experience, 20 years of experience of tearing apart tax returns and digging every penny of income out for your buyer and making these deals work for you. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Give me a call, 949-689-5626. You can also find me on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and all those things, all the social media stuff. Fantastic. Those are fun too. And but I'm here for you. I'm here for your buyers. I appreciate the opportunity. God bless you and your family, and have a wonderful weekend. We'll talk soon. Call me. Bye-bye.